Hey, yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Yeah, how
I'm
you?
in my basement, so
We just got off the ferry, so...
I had a safe journey over, or was it...
Yeah, it was all good. Couple of hours on the ferry, and yeah, had
Not too windy?
No, not too bad, mate. Not too rocky. We're all ready to go, man.
Alright, I'll see you in 1 hour or something then.
Yeah, cool, brilliant.
Got 2 in the sack, so that's good.
2 fish in the sack, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, mate. Good lad. All right, mate. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you in 15 minutes then, for 1 hour.
Yeah,
okay,
brilliant.
see you.
See you in a bit, mate. Bye. Well, hello. You probably already worked out that we're not in the UK for this part of the diary. We're currently driving through Belgium, and we've got about 20 minutes until we arrive at our good friend Gio's house. The reason we're over here is we're shooting the last part of the promo that you would have already seen by now for the collab. And so yeah, we've got his stock with us. We're coming over to shoot the last few little bits and pieces. And while we're here, we've also got some questions to ask him for a really small, exclusive, sort of intimate little interview. A bit about himself, a bit about the mag. He's an interesting guy, so we've got some questions to chuck at him and see what he comes back with. Just spoke to him on the phone, and he's managed to bag a couple of Belgian canal fish from the local canal this morning, only a couple of 100 metres from his house. So yeah, we're going to get this drive over with and get to Gio's. See you in a little while.
Alright, let's do it.
I'm poking out a little bit, that's alright.
Yeah, be alright. Look down. I like corners. Oh!
Hello, mate.
How's it going?
Good?
Good?
You good?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Not bad. How are you doing?
You good? Good.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Here we are with a small one from my own backyard. I got 2. This was the second this morning, in like 1 hour or something. Nice fish to catch from your backyard. So this is the second fish from this morning. Well, actually it's the first one, but it's the second one we get on video. Not bad for just 1 hour of fishing. Gonna put this one back, and then the boys have a couple of questions for me, and we got something special to show you as well. Great. Keep it on
So yeah, for those that don't know who you are, mate, would you like to introduce yourself?
So my name is Gio, short for Giovanni, Italian name. I have a sister in Italian name as well. A lot of people used to think I'm Italian as well, but yeah, there's no real connection. My parents just liked Italian names, and they've never even seen Italy. So yeah, and as I said, a lot of people shorten my name to Gio because that's easier. In the UK it happens a lot to names to shorten this as well. Gio, or as my grandmother says, Gigi. but I don't want you to use that. I'm 37 years old. I'm from Belgium, Ostend, near the coast. Got a family, got a girlfriend and a little kid of 18 months. And I work in the angling industry. I'm originally a translator, but I work since 10 years for the Belgian Angling Trust. I do my magazine and some stuff in angling. Yeah.
So the magazine, Monkey Climber. What is the mag? Like, can you sum up what the magazine is all about and why the name?
Why the name? I think we have to go back to 2010. I met my new girlfriend, so my girlfriend who I'm with now. She's a designer and she comes from surfing, skating, and when we were a couple of months together, she asked me, I was a copywriter at an agency back then, and she said, why have you never started a fishing magazine? And I said, I had thought about that, but the costs for designing everything were too expensive. And she says, yeah, but suppose if we would do one together. I said, you're crazy, but what would you name it? And I told her, I definitely, with all due respect to other magazines, I do not want anything typical like a title with Carp or in Dutch Carp in it. I wouldn't want that. We were inspired by the skating and surfing magazines. It was a quite big magazine here back then, which was called Swell, which was perfect for a surfing magazine. I was thinking like, what is the first thing that reminds me of my carp fishing? I was just a simple monkey climber back in the mid-90s. I was fishing with a feeder rod, and I would always have one or two carp rods next to me. With a monkey climber, I didn't have any money for indicators, for buzzers, and the monkey climber, smacking to the blank when I had a take, was the first thing that reminded me of my carp fishing. So that was the thing I said, monkey climber, to her. And a couple of months later, it was my birthday. We hadn't talked anymore about the magazine, and she gave me a dummy with me on the cover. She had made a logo herself, which was a bit different from the one we have now. It was like a monkey, but she didn't know what a monkey climber was with a needle. And she had made a tail like with a balloon. It was all cool. It was all for me. And from there on, we started working on the magazine, something different. We do it twice a year. We search for special stories, things you don't read in other mags. We have written about near-death experiences, anything that's crazy, some really journalistic, deep interviews. But those are things you can only do if you do it twice a year in a magazine. But anything that's apart from the norm can get into our magazine.
So we heard the rumours, and obviously we've seen you a few times this year anyway, about the English version of the magazine. Is this true? And what other sort of future plans are there for Monkey Climber?
English magazine, we get asked for it. Every day we get emails or Instagram messages. Is it in English already? Will you be doing it in English? I think people like Ollie Davis will have a good laugh now, because I'm already 5 years talking about an English magazine, but the time is there now. We need to do it. In 2 months' time, I'm taking 2 years leave of work, just to get everything done. It's also a dream come true. Like with the merch, next to the magazine, we do quite a lot of merchandise, and I think 70% currently of the online orders goes to the UK. And normally, when I was a kid, everything in carp fishing comes from the UK to Europe. So it's already one bit of a dream achieved to get noticed in the UK. But I really would like to show people there what our magazine is about. Like we had 5 years ago, we had an interview with Rod Hutchinson. We have that ready in English already. to get in the English edit. And the few people who read it said they never wrote anything about him, read anything about him that was going that deep. So I'm curious what response might be. And also we get a lot of customers from all over Europe, from France, Germany, and those guys could read it as well. Then, so what we would like to do is continue doing it, the 2 max per year in Dutch, Flemish, and then 1 now and then in English. The future plans for the magazine. As soon as we have the English edit, I would like to do a show in the UK. And if I get more time when I'm off work, get more over at shows in Europe, do some more fishing again. Yeah.
That leads on quite nicely actually. So about your own fishing, do you still get the time to fish as much as you'd like? Obviously, you're running a busy magazine. You've got a young family. You've got a lovely house. Do you still get time to fish?
Not as much as I would like to. I used to be a guy who fished at least 1 night a week, and if I didn't, I would get restless. I would, well, in the former place we lived, when I didn't have a week the chance to go fishing, I couldn't sleep at night. I would take my sleeping bag out of the van and get in the couch, just to be
in that.
Yeah, and that would work better. But before we did the Mac, I think I spent 6 weeks a year in France.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the first 4 years we did the Macs, and we did the Mac. I haven't done any fishing in France.
No.
And after the 5th year, I thought like, it's time to be doing some touring again. Worked well, but since 2 years we have a small boy walking around, and that's not easy. Last year was still easy. I did 40 single nights, which is quite a lot. But I think this year maybe 15. Problem is the little boy doesn't sleep at night, so I can't leave my girlfriend with him all the time, and we're just, with all the things we do, we're just too tired to do the single overnighters. But hopefully again with leaving at work for 2 years, for 2 years, I'll be fishing more.
Yeah. So when you do get to go, what sort of keeps the buzz alive? What sort of kind of waters do you like to fish, and what makes you want to go angling when you do?
In terms of waters, like before I had a young boy, I would drive up to a water even after work, like at midnight, local canal, fish it until the morning, go to work. I quit doing that because I want to focus on my limited time on the waters I really want to be. I grew up on the canal, fished a lot of canals back in the day. From a fairly young age, I think 16, 17, I started fishing a big reserve here, which is a big sand pits where they took the sand out to make the motorways. I think you have them in the UK as well. So I like fishing those a bit. The real buzz I get, I probably shouldn't be saying this on video, but it's where you are not supposed to be at night. We have a lot of night fishing bans here in Belgium, and I used to like that a lot. There's a bit of a little boy doing something he can't do. But in all honesty, I had to stop doing that with my work. But that's what real buzz, where the real buzz was coming for me. Yeah.
So
is that okay, or?
You covered yourself as well by saying I don't do that anymore.
But I do.
Cool. So, can you tell us something exclusive? Is there any exclusive stories or unheard? It's not common knowledge about yourself, your fishing, or even the magazine, maybe?
There is. I fished a pay lake once, one night. It was 5 years ago or something.
Yeah.
There was a battle of Benelux magazines. So competition between the magazine was on a pay lake, and originally we weren't going to take part in it. But then one of the guys said, "Yeah, we know why you don't take part in it because you can only catch small ones, like the ones we caught in the canal now, and you're afraid to lose face." So we went up there one night. I think I had one of the biggest in the lake. Dave was with me. He had a couple too, and then we went back home. And there was only one other magazine of all the Benelux magazines there. So yeah, I fished the Pay Lake once. No regrets, but yeah, I once did it. I didn't pay.
Have you had anything strange happen, or any weird encounters whilst you've been fishing on the bank?
We've had a few, yeah. I'm fishing all these public places. 2 years ago, we had something very crazy in France in a public park lake, where you shouldn't be fishing at night as well. Like in the daytime, it's in a big city. There's all these commuters, business people, joggers. Everything is nice, and as soon as it gets dark, it's like in a Taxi Driver movie. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And it's prostitutes, dealers. It's a crazy place, and we were fishing there for 3 days, I think. And on the last morning, I had a take at 5 a.m. So after playing the fish, putting it into the retainer, getting the rod back out, I was standing next to my friend's bivvy, and we were a bit hidden, but not too much. You could clearly see us, and there was a park bench behind us, like 5 meters maximum. I looked up there. There were two guys coming in business suits, and they started making out. Yeah, so I hid in my friend's under his brolly. After 5 minutes, I looked back and was like, "Oh, gotta get back in the bivvy." I did that 3 times, so 3 different things I didn't want to see. People started jogging, and they weren't. They were just continuing until they were finished. And yeah, all the French guys, we know quite a lot of locals back there. They always remind me of it. We called that one guy who did it. We nicknamed him Eric. Like when he got back into the office, like Eric, your breath stinks a bit. That's one of the strangest things I can remember from the past few years.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Live witness, yeah.
Live witness. Brilliant. Right, the last one. So finally, what's your fondest angling memory? Your happiest angling memory?
Mm-hmm. There's quite a few, really. I had this when I was 18 and fishing the reserve. One of my my first fish from there was at that time there were 2 fish. We were the biggest, always either the one or the other. I had one of them on my first night. Actually, I had quite a few on new places. I catch either a very sought after fish or one of the bigger fish. I'm very lucky at that. Like last year I had that in France as well, first time on a big public lake. I had a fish my friend was fishing for 8 years. I had it on my first night. And yeah, on that reserve I had 98, 99, very good season, and those are my very fondest memories. I was inspired by old VBK magazines. We were starting doing some target fishing, or what we thought was target fishing for bigger fish, and worked all well like we read in the magazines. And that's my fondest thing in angling. Mm-hmm.
It's a wrap. Well done.
Director.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Wicked stories, man.
Look,
Smelly.
hey, that was crazy. It was like me here, him there, and they were doing everything. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's
in a park as well.
and people were just jogging around. They didn't matter.
Just a normal
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and during the day, people were just sitting on that bench. We never sat on any bench anymore.